water. Good morning, group. It's Christina again with the beautiful Michele Courage. You've seen her here before, and she is back again, and she has got so much to share with you today, so get your pen and papers out. As we know, Michele is really into everything alternative and natural, and she and her new title that has been channeled just recently, as in the last X amount of time, is Galactic Energy Healer. Now, that's one for the books. Now, can you tell me in a very brief sentence what that means?
Okay, so hi everyone, welcome. Okay, galactic means to me being able to channel and get information from a whole bunch of different beings or energies, I would say rather. So I started off my journey really immersing in dragon energy. And then I started getting into with Pleiadian energy and Lemurian energy, and the list just carries on. So a lot of my healings are done through Arcturian energy, which they're the healers and the doctors of the universe. So yes, so I decided to call myself more of a galactic healer because it's broad compass. I work with archangel energy. It's not just, I can actually specifically target and know exactly which energy we're going to be working with to heal certain issues. I mean, I say heal, facilitate your healing and open you up into those energies.
That's great. But today we are here to talk about something very grounding, very earthbound, but it is still part of the healing realm.
Yes, and I think, as an energy worker, I've been obsessed with raise my vibration, and the universe has afforded me this beautiful new property that we moved into. It's very rural, quite remote, and I'm on a plant healing journey, which is quite correlating to one of my past lives that I've been shown, where I did this. So, yeah, just the plant journey is just being incredible. And with me, I'm in my mid-50s, so there's definitely some ailments starting to pop up. And I've obviously been on this journey to try and get my body into a better position using plants. And it's been incredible because the plants are right here on this property. I didn't even know half the plants. And when I find out and read up and do research, this is what they're used for. So the universe is kind of facilitating everything for my healing journey so I can learn it and then obviously share it with others.
Okay, now Michele, just in case that people haven't caught on yet, today we are talking about edible plants. Just in case they missed it, okay? Because I didn't really give it an intro. So Michele is going to be talking about 3 edible plants which you can grow. And she's going to talk about how you can use them. And keep in mind, the best way to use all plants is, if you can, you make a tea first, because the tea will still give you the benefits, but not so much that the body can't manage. If your body has adjusted and it likes certain plants, then depending on the plant, because some parts of the plant you can't use, but depending on the plant, you can use then the leaves or the roots, or in some cases the flowers, and you can make up either ointments or creams or whatever it is. But I'm going to hand you over to Michele. Michelle's going to talk about 3 plants, which the names are very familiar to all of us, and what you can do with them. So Michele, hit it.
Okay, wonderful. Well, my first journey started off with the beautiful calendula. So most people know about calendula. They know about the dried flowers. My specific idea for me is to grow the beautiful flowers, hand pick them, and dry them, and then use them in the products. And I started mainly for myself. And then obviously I've got a whole bunch of healers that are contacting me. So one of the things you can do with calendula is get a really high based oil, a carrier oil. I use coconut oil, a very high quality fractionated coconut oil, and you steep it. I steep it for 3 months in a little jar like this. And yeah, so, and then I package it up into little oil bottles, and I've been using it on my skin. I've been using it for my legs, for circulation. I mean, calendula is just amazing. So a lot of healers use it, and if you do a lot of research, you'll read up. There's a lot of information out on calendula, so I'm not going to talk too much about that.
Other than skin, because we all know it's a great adjunct to skin products, what other benefits, just briefly? You mentioned circulation. So is that rubbing it into the leg in the upward motion towards the heart?
Yes.
Like you would?
What I do is I use it as a base. So what I do is I take it and I use it as a base for putting my frankincense in for circulation. I also use cobiva oil and ginger. Yeah, and ginger oil, the essential oils, and then I put that into and add it to my little calendula oil. So for me, I just feel like I'm getting a whole bunch of healing by using this beautiful oil. And obviously it's great for the skin as well. So, but I know there's a whole bunch of healers that use it for other things as well. I'm about to do bombs with it as well. So I'm just on a plant journey, and I just want to share with you what I'm doing. So I've sourced beautiful pure beeswax from a bee farm here in Hawke's Bay, because I'm passionate about making sure using New Zealand grown based products. Nice. Everything that I'm doing, because I don't want to stress out the earth even more by using stuff from overseas when it can be grown right here and used right.
That's wonderful. Okay, so guys, Google calendula, go and see if you've got it in your garden, and don't pull it out. It's not a weed.
Yes, and easy to grow. It really is easy to grow, easy to harvest. And if you struggle with that, I mean, I know when I lived in Wellington, it was quite tough at times because the weather is not that conducive, because they do like a lot of sun. You can pop onto my website or just contact me via Facebook or Instagram, and you can buy a packet from me. Beautifully grown, and really there's a lot of love and intention, and obviously it's very organic, and it's a high vibrational flower because it comes off a land that has been blessed and looked after, and with a huge intention here at Riverstones.
So how long have you been? I know you lived in Wellington. You and I have known each other for a very long time, but how long have you been up here now?
I've been up here almost 2 years.
Oh my God, that's gone so fast. I
I
remember when you moved.
I know, and the first year was just unpacking boxes and sorting my life out. So realistically, the garden journey has been about a year, and intensified when my guides turned around and said to me, we really want you to focus on healing plants. Because I started doing vegetables and, growing vegetables. And I'm thinking, oh my goodness, I can supply people with vegetables. And my guides just gently nudged me back into the healing plant side. So I know now that next year is my total focus will be growing healing plants for healers and people who are on their healing journey, but doing the research themselves. I'm no doctor, and I'm not a homeopath, and I'm not a naturopath, but I do the research myself. And so I'm here for the healers to be able to supply them with high vibrational products.
That's fantastic. So what's the second one off the shelf?
Okay, so the second one has been a really exciting journey for me. It is nasturtium. Now, nasturtiums, everybody knows that I don't know if everybody knows this, but the flowers are edible. They've got a little slight peppery taste, and you can eat them. And the little leaves are just the most gorgeous leaves, and you can eat those too. So you can put them in your salads, whatever. But what I decided to do, because I read up, and I'm going to read a little bit about nasturtium for you. Nasturtium has antimicrobial, antibiotic qualities. So naturopaths encourage people to eat 1 or 2 leaves at the onset of sore throat or cold symptoms, to minimize symptoms. And because the antibiotic properties, some people use the leaves as a compress on cuts and bruises, but it's very high in vitamin C and contains a lot of the B vitamins, as well as iron, calcium, phosphorus. It's very good for alopecia, antiseptic, antimicrobial, and bronchial infections. And it's really good with urinary tract infections, butt and cystitis. And it's got a for hay fever as well. But my biggest thing was I read up, and it's used as an anti-inflammatory. Because as I've been gardening, I wake up in the morning and my hands are sore because I've been working them so hard, and I'm definitely feeling the aches and pains. So for me, and I also heard because it's anti-inflammatory, it lowers blood pressure. So I have made a pesto with the leaves. So I gathered a whole bunch of leaves and the flowers, and I put it into my mixer, and I mixed it with olive oil. And I've been having that on toast in the morning.
Yum, I'll have some of that.
I know. So that's what I say. Like, I'm
so when
just
you're coming down to
amazing.
Napier next, you can drop some off.
I will bring some.
No, seriously, I'm serious about that. And if it's not too hot, I don't mind a little bit of pepper. But I have a question for you.
Taste. It's just the most divine mild taste. And it's very, like, when you eat it on your toast, you feel, oh my God, I'm eating like real green stuff. It's just, yeah. And because I've grown it with this intention, I bless my plants. When I'm picking, it's all hand-picked. It's a very high vibrational product. And I cannot stress enough how important that is for us to be aware of putting high vibrational products into our body, high vibrational products, using those. I mean, I'm obsessed with raising my vibration, because I know that when people then interact with me, they're getting the most highest vibrational energy, which is around me, that they're tapping into when they're around me. So yeah, so that's the next.
Got a question for you. You mentioned that the nasturtium, is that how you say that one? Is also good for alopecia. Do you make a paste out of that for the alopecia, or do you just eat it internally?
I haven't researched that because I haven't suffered from that. But just research. Honestly, there's so much information online about this kind of stuff that it's all hidden on these herb pages that people don't get to see, because all these healers who have had these ailments use it and it improves. So that is how we're meant to explore with our journey, and that's our journey back into nature, back into using plants and stuff. And now we have the internet to fast track that. We don't have to wait for somebody in our community to suffer from it. We can just go, can I use it? You know, and you'll list, there'll be the ailments that you can use. So I'm really I'm so excited for my journey, and I want people to, it must be a journey for them, because that's how we learn. That's how we connect back into nature. If you purposely growing nasturtiums at home because you are suffering from arthritis, you become more connected with the earth. You become more in tune with the earth. You figure out ways to work. That's exactly what we're supposed to be doing.
And for a lot of people, especially people that are healers or light workers, they usually do have a crisis of health at some point in their life. And they have that not because their body is weak, or not because that they're meant to get sick. They have that because it's part of the healing journey, in order for them to be going down another path to either diagnose or treat or whatever in some way. I mean, that's how I became, you know, my nursing led me into medical astrology, into Ayurveda. So, and yes, I got sick and I had other people that were unwell. So it was like, you know, sometimes these situations there's actually a bigger picture involved.
100%. And you know, the thing is, it's a learning, and then a learning to be able to share it with others. I mean, I would never in a million years have turned around and said, and I don't purport to be a naturopath or a homeopath. Some people, that's their calling and they've studied that, but they will have some other challenges that they need to get through. Maybe they're not as creative. So I've been creative all my life, but then they will go down the creative side because they need to relax or they need to tune into. So yeah, I think
it's like me. I'm looking forward to, you know, I'm looking forward to my retirement and moving so I can just sit there on the beach in Greece and just paint.
Exactly.
It's what I want to do.
A healing. It's a healing.
And I've never painted my whole life, and that's what I want to do.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's easy. You know, so many artists say, so many people say, I'm not an artist, I'll never paint. But it's because you stopped when you were 11 or 12.
Yeah, exactly.
So you haven't practiced. Simple.
Yeah, no. Anyway, so next one off the rank.
Okay, well, I'm going to tell you about this most exciting plant that I have found. This is a cardoon plant, okay? There is a specific name for it. I'm just going to quickly go into my file on my computer and just open the cardoon one, because I've just got a little bit more information on that one. Okay, so the cardoons, it's the artichoke family.
Okay.
And yes, and with the cardoon, when it grows, it's about to flower at this time of the year in New Zealand, and all the baby leaves that are coming out of this plant, everything is edible of that. And so this herb is the most natural liver tonic one can grow.
Yes.
And I love about this is the fact that it was growing on my property, and I harvested the seeds because everybody said to me, what a beautiful flower. I want to grow that. And I thought, oh, well, I'll just propagate those and sell those little plants to people or give them away or whatever. And the more I read about, because then I thought, okay, fine, I better let people know what it is. And I did research. And the more research I realized, it's detoxifying. It's very good to detoxify alcohol. It's a simple age-old Mediterranean recipe that uses, and you can use artichoke leaves or this cardoon. It's the same family. It's a blood pressure lowerer, lowers blood cholesterol. It helps with abdominal pain and bloating. It's blood sugar levels. It's good for diabetics. These are all things that I'm struggling with at the moment. The blood sugar, the blood pressure, you know, as we get older, we start having all these problems with food that we've been eating and consuming for years. And eventually, you know, our bodies turn around and go, hey, I don't want to do this anymore. And it starts feeling uncomfortable. And people take, you know, man-made stuff to fix it. But yeah, this plant is amazing. So what I've done is I've gone and harvested these leaves because the plant is flowering and just about to flower now. And I basically took them and I dried them and I've put them into little packs of tea for friends, for family, whatever. Again, please remember, I am not a doctor, and everything of this, please do your own research.
The disclaimer is really important.
This is my journey, and what's good for me is going to work for me, you know, and I suggest take a little bit of tea and see how you feel. And, you know, if you feel any different and there's something going not so hot, don't do it. You know, it's
your body talks to you. You just have to listen.
You instantly, hey, I love this. God, this tastes foul. I don't want to. And I really feel like if it really tastes that bad, I don't think it's right for you. So for me, a lot of people have told me apple cider vinegar is the best thing for them, and they've lost weight on it. I literally get sick as a dog when I drink that stuff. I want to hurl. I can't. And I've done research on it because I was really keen to try and make my body take it because apparently it's really good for weight loss and da-da-da. And every time I took it, I would be in excruciating pain for 2 weeks afterwards. And I'm one of those people that can't drink that high acidic stuff, no matter in what level that I take it. My lining of my gut just goes so inflamed. It's like a massive inflammation. So please do your research, take a little bit. This is how our ancestors did it.
Just want to mention two things. The artichoke stuff is really good. And those people that are listening that are either naturopaths or whatever, you know that globe artichoke has always been one of the support supplements for the liver. So that may not be the globe artichoke, but it's in that same family. And if you can grow it in your garden, then even better. And the second thing about putting things into your mouth, just because somebody says it's good for you. Like we all know celery is great for us, okay? And I often recommend celery to people who want to get rid of fluid because it's a diuretic. But you want to know something? I cannot stand it. I can have it in a soup and maybe mixed in a smoothie with other things to camouflage the taste. But I do not like raw celery. And the amount of people that have said to me, it's really good for you. And I say, yes, I know that. But if my body does not like it, then it's not going to digest it happily. And that energy of me not liking something and taking it just because it's good for me is going to actually have a counter effect energetically in my body.
There'll be another alternative.
And there always is.
Same, but just work in tune with you. Just remember, we're star racers. We come from all over the universe. We come from all over the galaxy. We are different. Every one of us is a different makeup, and we've got a fingerprint to prove it. It's not a one fits
can
all.
we do one more?
Oh yes,
one more.
Okay, one more is
take a pick, because I know you bought a few.
Yes, my absolute favorite is the sage plant. Now, sage, obviously everybody knows sage as in, I mean, it is a culinary one, but the one that I'm talking about is the one that we all use for saging rooms and houses and homes. And
is that the white sage?
It's a white sage.
White sage.
Yes. Now, white sage is not that easy to grow, I have found out in New Zealand, because it is grown in the really hot regions. And so my husband built me a greenhouse. And so once the big plant is established, it's great and works well if you've got it in the right spot. But to propagate, and that's what I decided to do, I wanted to propagate. So I want to be able to sell these plants to people who are interested in rather growing it in New Zealand than bringing it in from America. We've got this thing, oh, well, I'll sage my house. But have you thought about the fact that you're saging your house with stuff that comes from another country and grown maybe not in a high vibrational way? So for me, it was important for me to grow it on my own property and then harvest it myself. And so that is what I do with my little sage bundles. So each sage bundle, I hand pick and make with intention and then use and dry. And, it's a high vibrational product again. The same with a purple sage. Purple sage is a lot easier to grow in this country. Purple sage is really interesting. When I did my research on it, it's more about a love vibration rather than the clearing vibration.
Oh, so that's good to know.
Yeah.
So if you want to get your purple on.
Yes, if you want to bring in more of a love vibration into the home, relationship vibe, that kind of thing, you need to burn the purple sage with intention rather than the white sage. The white sage is the clearing and the letting go and releasing and moving out. But this is bringing in a beautiful love vibration. So, yeah, so just by me doing a bit of research, I've done a lot of research in the last 2 years, my word. So yeah, and now I'm on a chamomile journey. So the chamomile, I am growing myself and realizing that to pick chamomile, I don't know if you can have a look, but it has to be absolutely open, not like that. Let me see. You see how that's some of them are not as open?
Yeah.
It has to be widely open and really big. This part here is where it carries all the healing oils. And I'm making tea with that, the most divine tea with the fresh flowers. And then also I'm drying them because I know I've got friends that are buying chamomile tea, but they don't even know where it comes from. So yeah, so that's my journey with the plants at the moment. And it's just, yeah, I'm just absolutely loving it and loving the idea of unlearning what we've been kind of, everybody's got lawns in front of their houses. Like, why don't we make that into a vegetable garden? Like, even if you're growing a quarter of what you're eating yourself, it's already a step in the right direction, and it's a step into being self-sufficient from a system that is intent on leading us. And I'm not a conspiracy theorist by no means, but I do understand that we're being led down a pathway that is not necessarily very healthy for us mentally and physically.
Well, I've been saying to anybody who knows me, before COVID hit, I was saying at my yearly talks where I talk about what's coming up for the next year, I was saying, have a garden, grow your own vegetables and herbs, have a water supply. If you can't do that, have water tanks.
Yep.
Be self-sufficient in a skill that you can trade.
Yep. It's barter. So it's really interesting with
fruit trees, vegetables, the works.
How I got slightly course corrected when I started selling my vegetables, and then my guides gave me this message: I need to make the plant to grow the plants for sale, because my vegetables I need to trade in community. So that is because I've written a book, because I automatic writing, I channel, and that's how I get my information. And they basically course corrected me and said, stop trying to sell the vegetable seedlings and plants. Those are for trade only. Everything that you make or do on the property is for trade. You can price your the sage and the herbs, yes. Which is so incredible, because I've met such amazing people through just advertising on Marketplace, because I'm getting healers coming to me, and we have this amazing bond, instant common ground, and I can learn from them and they can learn from me. So it's bringing the community together is how my journey is going, bringing my community to me through the plants.
That's wonderful, Michele. What's the best way people can contact you?
Well, MicheleCourage.com, Michele with one L, but if you Google Michele Courage, it's pretty quick. There's not too many of us around in this world. And the universe had a very funny sense of humor calling my surname Courage, So yeah, MicheleCourage.com. We also run a beautiful a holiday cottage on the Tuki River here in Hawke's Bay, called Riverstones Retreat, where you can book, and you can also, and that's riverstonesretreat.co.nz, and you can book that, and then also you can build a retreat. So you can decide what you want to do on the weekend if you do come with a whole bunch of girlfriends. And if you're like me, you don't like big crowds and do retreats of 22 people, you can do retreat for 3 or 4 people and just build a mini retreat. So yeah, so
if somebody came with 3 or 4 people, you got accommodation for that?
Got accommodation. We've got a 2-bedroom purpose-built cottage on the river. It's got a queen bed and 2 singles, and fully equipped kitchen, and it's a gorgeous cottage. So yes.
Michele, who would have thought that 2 years ago your path and life would have completely changed?
Well, actually, I did get an inkling. My guides have always said to me that, and I also have manifested it, because that's my vision that I've always had from when I was basically still in South Africa 14 years ago. I had the vision of doing what I'm doing now, but I had another journey to go through to get to this point. And I feel like this is my reward for the hard work that I did while I was in Wellington, because I worked hard, life challenges, and my learning was huge. But again, my learning is huge this time as well, because of the plant journey. So yeah, and loving life, loving the journey all the way, even with the ups and downs, trusting the universe and trusting my guidance.
It's always a pleasure to have you here, Michele.
Oh, lovely. And
So
it's so
excited for your work, and I'm so close that you're a lot closer now to
it's so lovely.
Okay, so I'll get this up on the page today. So if anybody would like to contact Michele, you know how to get hold of her. And just one quick question before we close. Do you actually post out your products?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So you have a postal system. They don't have to necessarily come and see you in Tuki.
Oh, it's always great to see people, though. I love the interaction. I love meeting people who are healers and people who are on their journey. I don't work per se a normal job. I've been afforded this wonderful time to work with people. So if you want to pop out, just give me a call. Let me know.
Blessings. Namaste. Thank you, Michele. As always, very, very informative. Please, if you want to know more about edible herbs and plants, please post it in the in the page under this podcast, so we know to maybe get Michele back. Yeah. Okay. All right. But take care. Voila.